Hi, welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host, and with me tonight, as usual, are my son Michael, who's in charge of this production.
Hey,
hello,
everyone.
Mike.
How's it going? Thanks for coming in.
And my other son, Jeff. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hey,
he's our
how we
chat
doing?
moderator. He's got a new interesting shirt on tonight.
You can see the keep on gemming.
It's a little backwards, but yep, keep on jamming. Nice shirt, Jeff. Love it.
Yeah, I got my back.
I'm as
Diesel
brilliant
thing,
as
I'm
the
as
gems I
brilliant as the
cut.
stones I cut. So
That's cool, Jeff. All right. Where do we start this at?
yeah, usually I think we usually talk about some news or new things happening with you.
Okay. Some news.
All right.
I was just reading some things from GIA, and they just examined a new synthetic diamond, the biggest they've ever seen, a 34.59 carat emerald cut synthetic diamond, which is just amazing. It's an inch long, a GVS2, so really fine stone. It wasn't long ago they had a hard time producing a carat stone. Now they're coming up with a 35 carat gem.
Mm.
So synthetics are coming along, and they're marketing well. I don't know how long that'll go on, but people find an interest in synthetics. The younger generation, we'll see how long they're concerned of whether something's natural or not. If it's like the ruby and sapphire synthetic market, it's still around and we still see them, but people still have the need for the natural gem, and it's never going to affect it. It's a significant effect, but I think it'll moderate and won't have a huge effect on the natural diamond market.
Now, do you think would it be easier to tell the difference between a 35 carat synthetic versus a natural diamond versus like a smaller one?
Well, it's something you're going to check, and the tests are out there to identify them. So, it's not easy for your average jeweler to ID them, but any of the labs have no difficulty with them. And a lot of them, particularly, I think the chemical vapor deposition like this one, the fluorescence is unusual, and don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure it's that type, but, one of the ways you can tell is the fluorescence of the gems. In a natural gem, a long wave will be more fluorescent than shortwave, whereas in the synthetic, in some of the types, it's the exact opposite. So that's one way of testing it. There's many, many ways of testing it, but still the equipment's fairly expensive to do these tests. But if you're buying a 34 carat, I'm sure you're going to have them checked pretty closely. So, but that's one thing in the news, and GIA has also been looking at some spinels. They're natural spinels that are being diffused. Diffusion treatments are not new, because I remember back, I believe it was probably 1980, it would be 81, when I was at the Gemshow in Tucson and actually showing there. And the big thing was there was talk of a new treatment for sapphires. And it was the diffusion treatment, which has been common since then, but it just been discovered at that time. So they've been diffused since the early 80s, the sapphires, not only blues, but some of the fancy colors, pot brushes they produce by diffusion, and all sorts of different colors. And many, many stones have been diffusion treated. But now these new, the spinels, they're nickel diffusion, and they turn out looking a little like cobalt spinels, anywhere from fine blue to blue greens to greens. which those color and spinels are quite expensive. So it is something that you have to consider if you're buying spinels in that color range. So
Good stuff.
yeah. And one other thing I thought was interesting, there was a ruby on display in Dubai. It was at the Waldorf Astoria Dubai, the International Financial Center. They claimed it was the largest ruby in existence, worth $120 million. You know, this was last year, so it's a little bit old news, but kind of interesting because actually what they were showing was something that Michael sells on Mineral Mike, which is this. You know, this is a ruby in there, and it is a huge ruby. You know, theirs was probably a little bigger when we've seen these bigger, but that's a ruby. It actually goes all the way through it, and you can see the hexagonal formation of the ruby. So this is a ruby, and it is huge, but 120 million. You know, this being a little smaller would only be 50 million maybe, but it's actually $450.
I'll take 50 million.
Bargain.
Yeah, we'll take 50
That's a
million.
bargain.
You know, so that was something that was exposed in Dubai, and you know, just one of those things. You know, if you were around long enough, there was a sapphire similar, star sapphire, that they claimed was worth 15 million. It was big. You know, it actually showed up in Tucson, was displayed there, but it was one of the ugliest stones I've ever seen. Just a horrible stone. You know, cracks in it, and the star was weak, and you know, so they just hype it. And I know that one never sold, and just like this one, probably, hopefully, never sold for 120 million or anywhere near that. But you know, these are things you have to watch out for when you're out there buying. You know, there's a lot of fakes and a lot of treatments that you have to be aware of. So that's my news.
All right.
So, Jeff, you want to discuss
Everything.
Yeah.
First of all, I just wanted to welcome everybody, you know, the newcomers. We got somebody from Brazil that's watching tonight. Want to say hi to Mima, to BD, to Angela, and we got Eileen is back. Thank you again, Eileen, for coming to the show. I think she's attended every one of our shows, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
Brazil. It's been a long time since I've been to Brazil.
Yeah.
1988 maybe was last time. Love to go again. You know, maybe if I'm around long enough, maybe I'll get back there. A lot of other places I want to go to.
We got Dana watching. I don't know who this Dana girl is. My sister. We heard you're
Hi,
not feeling
Dana.
well, Dana, so hopefully you're going to feel better. We'll try to make you laugh and smile because you love listening to us. So, Glenna. Hey, Glenna.
Hi,
Glenna's
Glenna.
on the show tonight. Okay, and for, you know, a lot of people that watch probably already know how this works, but for all your newcomers, for the show tonight, we're going to be selling a lot of really cool stones that, you know, no one's seen before. It's the first time we're releasing them, and you're going to get some cool discounts on them as well. So throughout the show, you can ask questions through live chat right on YouTube. Post away. You know, Steve loves answering the questions, trying to stump him. You know, so go ahead, post them there. You can also live chat me from the website, MoreGems.com. And you can email us as well. But as you can see here, all the stones that we're featuring tonight are going to be 15% off. When you go to MoreGems.com, you can click on the green banner at the top. That'll take you to the complete collection of stones that's going to be seen tonight, almost all of them. And you can use coupon code FRESH, 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 for 15% off. Just throw that in the checkout.
So fresh.
So fresh, so clean.
Sing it.
Throw that in the checkout, and it'll take 15% off that price for you. So what are the options to pay? So we got a few. So you can use credit card. A lot of people use credit card. We also offer PayPal. So if you got a PayPal account, want to spend some of that money that's in that PayPal account, use it. You can do it through here. If you want to pay over time, we also offer, what services is it? Bread.
Layaway.
Bread.
Oh, bread.
Bread. So you can use bread through checkout, and we have no interest financing for up to 6 months. You can go up to 12 months. I think they charge a little bit, but up to 6 months, you can pay over time. We'll still ship it to you, and works out great. Outside of that, if you want to do layaway, you can call tomorrow and put stones on layaway. There is a risk that they'll sell. So I stress this every show, is that if you do like the stone, buy it, because there's been countless numbers of times where people are like, hey, where's the stone? I went to buy it. Somebody, jumps on it before you do. So lots of different options to purchase. And if you're watching from TV, which is awesome, if you're laying in bed, just hanging out, you can you can use your phone and take a picture of that QR code. That'll take you right to the section on the website as well. Did I get everything?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, we do have a return policy. 30 days you have to return stones.
Yeah. And if you like these stones, we mentioned it throughout the show, we can custom design something for you. So, if you want to buy it, hold on to it, have us design something for it, we can do that. Or if you want to hold on to it for a while, give it as a gift for Mother's Day, and then she picks out the design that she wants, and we can design something for you. So,
and you mentioned all the stones weren't showing up on the green banner.
Yes. Steve caught that. So, hint: there are 5 hidden gems. Now, the reason we do this, we know people like to early buy before we even get to talk about the stone. So there are 5 hidden gems throughout the show. This is a reason you'll want to stay on during the entire show, is because these hidden gems will pop up. We'll let you know when they're released, and you'll get actually 25% off those stones. But we're not going to tell you when throughout the show they're released. So you need to stay on, watch the show, and then you'll know.
And they have to refresh to see
them. If you're on the collection, as soon as we say, hey, hidden gem number 1's available, just refresh that page and it'll pop up and it'll allow you to purchase that hidden gem. So, all right.
Okay. And the prices you're going to see on each stone, there'll be an appraised price, and that appraised price is based on the gem guide. This is, as it says, a market-driven independent pricing guide, where this company actually goes to the shows, particularly Tucson. They actually do many shows, and they go around to the different dealers and they price stones, and they produce this guide, which is a very comprehensive guide. It does diamonds, and then it does probably 100 different colored stones and breaks them down by quality and size, and gives us a price and gives us some idea of how to appraise and give a price using this guide. So that's what we use for the appraised price, and then we have our online price. And tonight, of course, 15% off of the online price. Got anything, Mike?
Well,
did I miss anything?
Yeah. Why don't you introduce them to your new assistant?
Should I do it as we did it earlier, or not?
Good, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can. So our new assistants, by popular demand, people want to know the size of stones, and this is this is my new assistant. This is, I guess we're looking for a name for tonight. Anybody has any suggestions?
Yeah, you got some names. Throw them out there.
Yeah, this is going to give you a better indication of what the size of the stones is, and it's a good idea. And we'll see how it works tonight, and how I fumble through trying to get each of these stones on her finger. But it is a useful thing. Yeah, I get it, and hopefully it'll help you determining whether this is the right stone for you.
I like Hannah.
Hannah
Hannah
That's
the hand.
Good. Hannah.
That's a good one, Amy.
Keep them coming. We want to see all the names.
I thought she thing, but Hannah sounds better. Okay, and up for our first stone up is that's the wrong stone, actually.
Starting out right.
Ah, well, it was on the hand, Our first stone is actually a tourmaline, and during the last show we had the other half of this stone. This comes from Nigeria. Weighs 17.14 carat. And these are just a beautiful color, And if you look at the last week's show, will that still be available? Or
It's on the website, but it's not going to be in that collection. So they'll just have to go to the tourmaline collection.
Okay. So the other half of this stone was on the show last week. It was kind of a
it's like a pear shape, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little like a pear shape, angular pear shape. Bigger than this, but both these stones were cut from the same crystal. They're real similar color because the saw went right down through the center of the table. So they were table to table. So the colors are very similar between the two gems. And just the beautiful color coming from Nigeria. These are natural color, which most greens you see are heated to color just because they're usually overly dark. But these stones weren't overly dark and didn't require any heating. So it just came out a beautiful, beautiful color of green. And the appraised price on this stone is $95.10. The tourmalines have been somewhat difficult to get. There's limited availability in the world, and tourmaline is one of the stones in the guide that has gone up the most. The green tourmalines have taken a significant jump in price, and rightfully so. They're beautiful gems, and not too many fine green stones come in this kind of size. So our online price is $42.85. And with the 15% off, it's $3,642, which comes out to $212. Get the hand out of the way. $212 a carat. So we can't rely. We're now using an iPhone camera to use this hand. So the color quality is marginal on some stones. The blue zircon was fine, but this stone, it just doesn't do accurately.
Yeah, we swapped this out. So like Steve was saying, trust the videos with it spinning, but this will be more for the size. So, yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to use the hand? Huh? Let's put it on her hand. There. Makes that blue zircon look small. You're going to have to bear with me in dealing with this hand. But anyway, that'll give you an idea of size. So it's a big ring, moderate sized pendant, just a really nice stone. This is all step cut. I cut this both crown and pavilion step cut. And it's a nice clean stone. In the picture, you'll see a little like lines down in the culip, but that's a optical effect. It's not something in the stone. It's totally clean. That's just, I'm not sure what you call that. I don't know if there's anybody out there that knows the term for what's causing that effect on the light. I know there must be a term. But anyway, that's tourmaline from Nigeria. Real clean stone, VS1 clarity. I think it's just a special green tourmaline. And up next is the blue zircon that is on our hand, Hannah, currently. Nice size blue zircon, weighs 5 carat 57. This one comes from Cambodia. And what's special about this is its depth of color. It's just a really intense blue. Most Cambodian zircons are light to medium color, but this just has a very high intensity. And that secondary green color is what makes blue zircon different from others. Blue topaz, aquamarine, they just have a different blue color. Yeah. And blue zircon just been a very, very good selling stone for us. Good hard stone. Brilliance is exceeds most other gems because of very high refractive index. So, Jeff, we had a sale.
Yep, first sale of the night. And
it was pretty quick.
Yeah, this is Tim, who I believe that name sounds really familiar. So I know he's watched the show before. So Tim just picked up the Cambodian blue zircon you're talking about
cool.
right now.
Cool.
Sweet. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
And along with that, Max said the question you had earlier about the lines in the stone, birefringence, I don't know. You know what that is?
You know, and yeah, I do know what birefringence is. And birefringence is the difference in the refractive index. Birefringent gems have they make light pass through the stone at different rates, and it's possible that's it. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whether that would be the reason, but could be. Yeah, because it does affect the light differently, and could be an explanation. Yeah, I have no idea. So, thanks for the input, and hopefully we'll get clarification as to whether that's it or if there's some other effect. Okay, and next is another zircon. See how quickly I can get this. Whoop! Just threw your blue zircon on the floor. Sorry, Tim. I do it all day long. Spend looking on the floor for stones. They call it a jeweler's prayer meeting because we're down there so often on our knees looking for things. So another blue zircon, also emerald cut, but this is actually a pair, and a beautiful match pair. These come from different source. These are from Malawi. And for a small stone, just really, really nice color. Not that it's a small stone. The pair weighs 3.45 carats, so about 1.75 carats each. So there's still a nice size for a ring. So with the two stones, you could do a ring and a pendant, earrings, but really good brilliance and really good color. As you get bigger with stones, you get a deeper color typically. So getting small stones with deep color is always the difficulty in this business. But these stones from Malawi really stand out color-wise for their size. These weigh 3.45 carats. The appraised price is $1,725. Our online price is $880. And with the 15% off using the coupon code FRESH, whose idea was it? Always the great debate before the show. What are we going to do with the coupon code,
Hey, nobody helps me out.
And Michael usually figures it out. So we'll blame him. So 15% off, $748 for the pair, $217 a carat.
So you could use it for a pendant and a ring. I was thinking, it'd be a good idea, like mother-daughter, kind of thing.
Yeah,
for mothers
that's a cool idea. Yeah, mom and daughter could both have a piece of jewelry.
Yep.
You could do a 2-stone ring, a 2-stone pendant.
It'd be too big for earrings.
Oh, no, not too big. No, definitely
okay.
not. Yeah, no, nice size. Yeah. And it's just really unusual to get 2 stones cut so much alike and in such the similar color in the 2 stones. I probably should show you the other stone, but there's the other one. Malawi has been producing blue zircon for just a couple of years now. And we've sold quite a few stones. These particular stones, I didn't cut them, but they are, I'm not sure where they're cut. A friend of mine cuts them, and he's probably done here in the States. All right. I need an assistant to handle the hand.
You need a second assistant.
I got a third, a fourth. It'd be the fourth or a third. I guess I do have two assistants. This little work is not my greatest talent.
If I loaded them up.
Well, it's in there, not perfectly straight, but I'm sure I'll get better at this. All right, up next. If you watch the shows, you'll know this is one of my favorite stones. It is becoming one of my favorites. This is a gray Spinel. And it's a really nice one, really nicely cut. Weighs a carat 73. Kind of a square cushion, brilliant style square cushion. Comes from Sri Lanka. Spinel, as we talked about, the diffused Spinel is the same material that they're putting nickel on and altering the color. Although I'm sure they didn't start out as grays, probably. Probably started out more on a colorless side, or light blues maybe. But this gray Spinel, carat 73, appraised price of $1,380. Our online price $1,040, and with the 15% off on this gray Spinel, it is $884. Like we've talked about, gray Spinel has become extremely popular. Hasn't been my favorite throughout time. It's just I've been in this so long that this color range was not popular 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. But the whole market has changed for what colors are popular, and this has become one of the more popular colors in the business. Which kind of surprised all us old timers. But, we learn to learn. And even I have finally succumbed to realizing that I don't know everything that's right in the business. And, you can see from the sales that this stone is just something worth owning, and I will continue to buy gray Spinels because they are very, very marketable. So, looks like we have a sale.
Yeah, you
I won't drop this one.
You talk about the Spinels all the time, every show, and they always sell.
They always
I think
sell.
Michael has one. I've got one.
Yeah.
Now, Catherine has one as well.
Oh, cool.
So thank you.
Yeah. This and this one
thank
really
you.
nicely cut and a big spread for its weight. It's a big Spinel. A carat 73 is not a huge weight, but because of the way it's cut, you'll see it has no extra depth in it, but still produces full brilliance. So sometimes you get these cuts that are cut look more like snow cones, and you just get this little small appearing stone. But this has a full size to it, and just really a beauty. I don't know what the secondary, there's a lot of secondary colors in this, and you get dispersion out of it. And, in the high refractive index, this Spinel gives you a really nice brilliance. A lot to be said for Spinels. And Spinel has become one of the more expensive stones in the business. If you start looking at reds, pinks, particularly pinks from Tanzania, a 2-carat pink can be $2,000 a carat. 1 carat pink. I just bought a 1 carat pink that is $2,000 a carat. Really amazing pink, but it's just the price of Spinels has just jumped so much. You talk about Spinels, one of the finest rubies in the crown jewels, which will be displayed at the coronation of King Charles coming up here, I think, next week. Or it's the Black Prince ruby, which actually is a Spinel. It wasn't until the 1960s, I believe, that they identified what they thought was a ruby was actually a Spinel, which at the time brought down its value significantly, but now with the values of Spinel vying with the values of corundums, rubies, there is a much closer valuation of the two gems. All right.
Speaking of pink Spinel.
Up next is a pink Spinel. Not from Tanzania, but really a beautiful pink.
We'll get better at this the next show. We'll figure something out.
This is about as good as I'm going to do, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
It went on there pretty quick.
That was pretty good, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get a speed record.
Hopefully, it doesn't slow the shows down too much. But all right. Well, there it is on the hand. The color is as the picture you see is, because this is just a really beautiful color. The iPhone's not showing it as intense as it is, but trust the pictures and the videos, and you're going to find that our pictures and videos are very, very close. We work very hard to get them accurate. This particular stone weighs a carat 87. Praise value of this is $5,610. Our online price, $2,020, and with 15% off, the stone comes to $1,717, $919 a carat. Spinel's really hard gem. Like I talked, it has good brilliance because of its high refractive index. Just a beautiful color. I mean, when it comes to pink, this would be my definition of pink.
Move it around on that hand a little bit there, Steve.
How good can I make her move?
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty good hand, actually.
Steve thought about getting those nails done, but we ran out of time.
Yeah, it comes with fake nails, but looks good as it is. All right, that stone is from Sri Lanka. And again, nicely cut stone, no extra weight in the belly. All right. And our next stone is...
It's a hidden gem.
Our first hidden gem.
Jeffrey's working on that right now.
You guys never let me know about the hidden gems until I don't know when they're going to be.
List, huh?
It's a secret. They're hidden.
They're hidden. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to launch this right now. So if you go back to MoreGems.com, click on that green banner that shows all the stones from tonight's show. If you refresh it, you're going to see the new hidden gem. Now this gem is 25% off. So To get that 25% off, you're going to use the coupon code RARE25. RARE25.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
All right. It's a little too big to get in my ring tweezer. This Rubellite weighs 5.67 carats. And the appraised price $28.35. Online, it's $14.75 with 25 off. This stone is $1,106, $195 a carat. You'll see that there are some inclusions in this. Keep in mind the pictures and videos make them show up more than you'll ever see them naturally. But Rubellite almost always is included, and usually heavily included. It is what GIA terms as a class 3 gem for clarity, meaning it's almost never, ever totally clean. But this has an eye cleanish appearance, and just a beautiful red color. I think I've listed it as from Brazil, but there is a possibility its source is incorrect. I'm going to look into it more and try and this was bought from Thailand, and they'll know where it was from, and I'll try and get that more accurate, because there are a couple of new sources that are producing Rubellites at this time, so not 100% sure about the Brazil source. And it may make a difference on type of treatment, so that information I will work at getting. Rubellite is generally very, very difficult to get. There's just not much Rubellite available in the world. And again, the iPhone not accurate on the color. Okay, up next is our first Tanzanite. And this is really, really a nice stone, really interesting because of the cut. This is a cut you rarely see. It's basically a princess cut. It's just uncommon that it's cut in this shape, particularly in this size. I think I've had maybe a couple in the last year with princess cuts. So,
sorry, with Tanzanite, I know a lot of people know this, but you just tell them like how much Tanzanite we sell and how, if maybe somebody's never heard of Tanzanite, like this is a huge seller for. Oh, you're laughing because you think everybody has, don't you?
What's your point, Jeffrey?
I don't know. It's just like I talk to people at work that never heard of Tanzanite. Yeah. I'm like, this is one of our biggest sellers. You talk to the BMW guys and Tanzanite, they think of the color of the car.
Yeah. It's surprising that they named a car color after this gem.
Yeah.
So they think that it's recognizable enough.
Yep.
And for us, it's almost half our entire business. So Tanzanite is a very important gem for us. And, we hope that'll continue. Hopefully the supply continues. It is a finite supply. It's something that in the next 10, 20 years could be completely out of existence. I have a big stone that my son Michael mentioned that maybe I should put that away. And I started thinking, maybe that's a good idea. Then I thought, yeah, good idea for Michael and Jeff, which is good. Yeah, because in that time, in 20, 25 years, all bets are that it's going to be gone. and you get a really fine gem like this or the bigger 77 karat stone, and they're going to just have a very, very high value at that time. The mines, some of them are down over 3,000 feet into the ground, and there's just a limit at how far that this is going to go down. And one day it's just going to, the mines are going to start closing up because they can't produce, or they're too deep that they can't produce profitably. Because this gem, compared to other gems, particularly things as beautiful as this is, it's a relatively inexpensive stone. You compare to sapphire, a 5 karat sapphire this size is $4,000 a carat. And these stones are $600 a carat, $650, sometimes $700 a carat. This particular stone appraises at $6,180. Our online price is $3,370, and with the 15% off, it's $2,864. So it's $510 a carat. Yeah, just a really, really lovely stone. Again, no extra depth to it. And why I sometimes stress this is because when you cut a stone deeper, which is common because, you cut what is there in the rough. If this rough had been deeper, they'd have cut it deeper. They don't want to waste material when you're $500-600 a carat. But this stone was of a depth in the rough that gave you the biggest look you could get from a stone of this weight. You couldn't cut this and be bigger and still have brilliance, because if you cut them too shallow, you lose brilliance. So this is just cut at the ideal depth to get brilliance and size. So the stone measures 10.3 millimeters. And again, the princess cut is pretty unusual in the trade. Really beautiful stone. Good for ring, as you can see, or pendant. Yes, but this is the color rating on this is blue violet exceptional, meaning there's more violet than blue, and a VS1 clarity, so pretty much completely clean. All right, moving on to the next stone. Another pink stone. This one, pink sapphire. This one was mined in Madagascar. Madagascar is one place I traveled almost more than any other country. I've been to Tanzania more often than Madagascar, but Madagascar by far my favorite country in the world to travel to. Hope to get back there someday. Very little production generally in Madagascar. All the people that do work there complain about how low a production there is of gems. And Madagascar produces probably one of the widest variety of gems of any country. They pretty much produce every gem that I know of. Tanzanite, they claim they've produced Tanzanite, but I don't believe that. So nice size pink sapphire, carat 11, make a great ring, as you can see. Again, the color that the iPhone's producing is not as strong a pink as it is, but you can see the cuts very, very nice. The clarity is VS1, which for sapphires from Madagascar is unusual. Mostly Madagascar stones, as you'll see in the yellow that's coming up, they usually have real fine crystals in them, and it is an identifying characteristic of stones from Madagascar. This one is probably not 100% devoid of it, but pretty darn clean. About as clean as you're going to see a sapphire.
Hey, Steve.
Uh-huh.
Somebody wants to know whether this is pink or lavender. Jeffrey was about to ask the same question.
Well, that's a tough choice. It's It's slightly lavender pink. It's more pink. The photographing these is a little difficult.
Asking for more light on it too.
More what?
Light on the hand, on Hannah.
Well, the hand's not going to give you an accurate. Oh boy, yeah. We'll be working on that, but it's hard to get the phone in position and give you the amount of light.
This is something new. This show, Stefan. It's
that changed them a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
You wouldn't call it salmon, would you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's definitely pink. I mean, I see it as pink, but I know the question of lavender, and there is it is a hard separation between what those two colors actually are. And I've often said lavender pink as if lavender is pink. I don't know what the true definition of lavender is. More violet pink? I'm not sure. It's to me it's pink. And everybody perceives color a little differently, particularly reds, which pink is a variation of red, and we reds, I've always noted that what people see as red, they'll look at a ruby and they'll go, oh, that's purplish red, or, and I'm looking at it, I go, I don't see that at all. And I've seen that throughout my time in business, is our perception of red is different. Our eyes see red different, more so than any other color. So it may go with pink because pink's a light shade of red. So call it whatever you want. It's a beautiful gem. Yeah. Did I go through the pricing on this one? I can do it again. Appraised price of $2,110. Our online price is $1,190. And with the 15% off, it's $1,011. So $911 a carat is the price of this pink sapphire.
Can I ask you a couple questions that we had come in? And again, everybody that's joining us, just a quick recap. You can, all the stones on tonight's show are at least 15% off with coupon code FRESH at MoreGems.com. You use credit card, PayPal. We have financing as well, up to 6 months, no interest. And if you have questions, just jump in the live chat right next to or right below the YouTube video. So we had a question from, let me see here, Super Flutie of Naughtiness.
Okay.
That was hard to say right there. Concerning tourmaline, would you agree that there is not a significant price per carat cost for larger stones as opposed to ruby, sapphire, diamond, etc.?
Well, and that's true of all other gems besides ruby, sapphire, particularly. Emerald not so, because emerald comes off in large sizes, and that's partly the issue. A lot of gems, including tourmalines, commonly come in bigger sizes. But if you look at the green tourmalines, the difference between a 2 carat and a 10 carat is, the guide goes from $475 as a 2 carat to $700 a carat as a 10 carat and larger. And I'm sure if we look at sapphire, it's a much bigger difference. And much because a 10 karat sapphire is a pretty darn rare stone. In the same comparison, the 2 carat being up to $3,700 a carat and the 10 carat at $10,000 a carat. So definitely a difference. I don't know how much difference that is. That's not a, well, it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably 40% difference as far as sizes. But, it's much to do with rarity compared to size. Some of the garnets are like sapphire in that, as you get bigger, they just get so much rarer. So the price goes up more significantly. But tourmalines often come in pretty large stones. So there is less of a difference. An amethyst would be the least difference from small size to big size. It's probably 20% difference per carat rather than 30, 40, 50% difference. So was that the right answer to that question?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I didn't make it up.
There was another question somewhere in here. I'm going to probably have to come back to it. Somebody asked a question. I'm looking for it. There's a lot of chats in here.
Okay.
But if you got other questions, just post them in the chat, and I promise we'll get to them eventually.
All right, here's our next stone. And that size difference sometimes, like in sapphires and rubies, like the difference between a 1 carat and a stone over 2 carat is pretty dramatic. Because the 2 carat larger size has often been considered to be the investment sizes. So once you get over 2 carat and stones like those rubies and sapphires, the price does take a significant jump. And talking about 2 carats, here's a 2 carat. This is a yellow sapphire, kind of golden yellow.
Which is also our next hidden gem.
Is it? It's a hidden gem. All right.
And now, for those just joining us, because you guys join us throughout the whole entire show, the hidden gem, if you go to MoreGems.com, click on that green banner, all the stones listed on that collection for the show, just refresh it, and that new yellow sapphire oval will be there, which is 25% off with coupon code RARE25.
All right, and that sapphire appraises at $3,010. Online price is $1,975, and with the 25% off, that comes to $1,481, so $689 a carat. And you can see those crystals in the video that you won't see on your hand. You would have to look extremely hard to find those very small crystals in that. But this is so typical of Madagascar stones. I've cut a lot of the pinks from Madagascar, and typically they all have those small crystalline inclusions in it. It is the identification for Madagascar sapphires. I can't think of another country I've seen a similar type of inclusion. I'm sure that's not 100% true, but the little cloud of them that you typically see in Madagascar is just a typical identification characteristic for that source.
Move around on that hand a little bit there. Show the life of the stone.
It's a really nice emerald cut sapphire.
Good size for an engagement ring.
Oh yeah, and sapphire being so hard, next hardest to diamond, and a tough stone actually is tougher than diamond. Diamond is known as the hardest gem, but it's not the toughest gem because sapphire is a tougher gem than diamond is. So this is ultimately one of the most wearable gems for an engagement ring. And another sapphire.
Before we go on to the next sapphire.
You found a question?
Yes, he reposted it. Thank you, Ross. So, have you heard of this or ever cut this stone? Okay, I'm going to butcher this. A rhombic Triac Cantahedron.
No, haven't heard of it. Rhombic, which is a crystal shape. Rhomboid, I assume.
Triac Cantahedron.
Right here, Steve.
Oh. I don't... It looks more like a crystal shape than a gem. It's an unusual name for a gem. Not an unusual name for a shape. Because like octahedrons, it's rhombic, rhomboid, 3-something. I don't know. I don't know it. Yeah, that's a new one for me. So, well, it seemed, yeah. It's almost like a crystal system, but, I'm not sure. Never seen it before. Okay. So if you find any information on it, let us know. I'll write it down and see if I can find anything, and maybe next show. It just doesn't sound, it's a poor gem name if it is, Yeah,
I think he's saying it's just a shape, but maybe if you've cut anything like it before.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, I mean, I've done rhomboid-shaped gems, but I don't know what the rest of it is. Cantahedron. Triac Cantahedron. It's a 30-faced polyhedron, convex polyhedron with 30 rhombic faces. Okay. Let's see the picture of that. Not sure I'll cut it, but it's...
Why not? Come on.
Hey.
Portuguese cuts got a little more than that, right?
Oh, God, yes. 30 rhombic faces. That'd be like the simplest cut I ever did if it only had 30 faces. Yeah.
Jesus, sitting there and off.
Steve's going to be working on it tonight.
All right. Well, somebody send me a picture of that.
All right. Here's an easier question for you. How tough is Spinel?
How tough?
Yeah.
It's really hard, and it's a really tough gem. It's something in another good engagement ring stone. Yeah, just a very, very durable gem.
Okay.
Yeah, give me more questions like that.
Yes, let's see who can stump Steve tonight.
Well, that's too late. I already did that once.
We're going to have to do, like, in the upcoming show, some kind of giveaway for the best question.
All right, here's another sapphire. What color this one is, that's another. It's not pink, but it's pinkish. What exactly is that color? Not sure. And that's a problem with describing a lot of gems. It's, when I think of peach, the description is pink, orange, and I'm not sure. It took me a long time to relate to that, but I guess that's peach color is pink, orange. That's pot parasha, but a lot of these colors are just very, very difficult to describe. I suppose as the painting companies know, they have a million different names for colors, and
Jeff, you want to remind everybody where to go to purchase again?
Yeah, so we had a couple questions on where to purchase. Again, if you go to right in the bottom of the video, it says visit MoreGems.com and click on the green banner. So MoreGems.com is the site. As soon as you land on there will be a green banner across the top of the page. If you click there, Michael's flashing it. If you click on that green banner, it's going to take you to all the stones tonight, besides the remaining 3 hidden gems. And then purchase the one you like, go through checkout. We got tons of options for payments, and then just enter in the coupon code FRESH for 15% off.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another sapphire from Madagascar, just under a carat at 97 points. And again, really nicely cut, great brilliance to the stone. Praise price on this one is $1,640. Our online price $1,050, and with the 15% off, it is $892. Madagascar for years, since the early 2000s, I think. Maybe 2001 was the first time I went there for sapphire. They started producing in Ilakaka, which is kind of in the middle of the country. It was a desert, and then they found sapphire, and it became a town of 20,000 people in a matter of a year or so. Still producing, but I'm not sure where exactly these are from, because there's several new sources of sapphire in Madagascar.
And if anybody's interested in seeing Steve's trip, there is a video that's on our channel of his trip, maybe of a couple of the trips to Madagascar, and you could see him driving through the town of Ilakaka and seeing how they mine these gems, which is really interesting. So it's on there. You might have to do a little bit of searching, but I think I have a collection called Gem Mining or something like that, but you should be able to find it if you're interested in watching that.
Okay, and up next is, oh, I missed one. Another sapphire. Unusual color, not a color I've seen before. Almost colorless, but definitely a faint yellow. If it were diamond, it'd be down in the MNOP colors. Oh. Well. Good.
Steve's throwing the stones
down there with
again.
the blue zircon. This little ring is a little difficult to manipulate.
What'd you do? Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
There we go.
There we go. All right. As you can see, really nice brilliance. You know, and the sapphire, like Spinel and a lot of the garnets, just has a high enough refractive index that you get a really good brilliance out of it. Refractive index, you know, it goes from 1, which is water, to, you know, I don't know what the highest ones are. You know, diamond's about 252, I think. Sapphire is 176. So on the high end of gems, so it refractive index is what produces brilliance. The higher the refractive index, the greater the potential brilliance. Then it's up to the cutter to maximize the refractive index. But that's, you know, for a carat and a half stone, makes a very nice ring, you know, and it's something, you know, like Michael mentioned earlier, you know, it'd be a great engagement ring, just because it's one of those stones that's going to last through an engagement and a marriage. You know, you can be married 50 years and you're going to still be able to have this sapphire, whereas some people want to do much softer gems, and you know you're going to end up repairing them a lot more. But the really good engagement ring stone, highly recommend it. This particular stone weighs a carat 53, again, from Madagascar. Appraised price of $1,200. Our online price is $900. And this particular stone is $765 with the coupon code FRESH. So it's $500 a carat, which in sapphire, sapphire, that's a pretty inexpensive price for sapphires. Most of these sapphires we've shown tonight are probably heated, which is extremely common. And I'm not 100% sure about the Sri Lankan locality. I have to look into that too. Been a little lax on questioning people strong enough about sources, and we need to do that regular because everybody wants to know where they're from. But so many of these sapphires I've bought recently are from Madagascar that I'm not sure that's not the case of this stone, which when Madagascar started producing, when the Alakaka deposit hit it, the Sri Lankans were first there. And if you asked the Sri Lankan where the stone was from, it was never from Madagascar. It was always from Sri Lanka, primarily because Sri Lanka was the source that brought the biggest money, and it was tough to tell the difference between Madagascar stones and Sri Lankan stones. So every Sri Lankan just said they're from Sri Lanka, even though the world production at that time was mostly coming out of Madagascar. And up next, Michael, you're going to have to talk about this one.
Not a whole lot about it other than I just know it's a beautiful color. I mean, it's just...
Looks like the waters you see around Antarctica.
Yeah.
Is
right.
that...
That's what it reminded me. I just fell in love with the color of it. It's just such a, I don't know, just that blue is just something else. And it's really cool, crystal structure of it. Just very pleasing to me. And I feel like you don't see that color too often. Yeah. I mean, some aquamarines, of course, but not quite like that.
And again, the iPhone doesn't quite hit the real color of the stone. Close, but it still is more of a greeny blue, or I don't know what that is. But it's just beautiful color. And it's aragonite, huh? Mm-hmm. From China. Yeah, the video is real accurate on the color.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got on a little bit of the matrix. You can kind of see the back of it here, and it is translucent, but not quite transparent. So you shine a light through it, and you'll see through it. And this piece actually looks really good backlit. It kind of just brightens the whole piece up.
I think I have a look. Right. There you go. Whoop. Afraid I'm going to drop it.
But yeah, I just thought it's super cool display piece. Just kind of really, like somebody said, glacier blue, exactly.
All right, so that's from China, $899 less 15% is, I don't have a figure on that, Mike. Be 89, about 750-ish.
Yeah, 764.15.
And that comes to us from Mineral Mike. Who is it? MineralMike.com.
Michael's got like an eye. I mean, if you for some of the men out there, I guess even, me, I don't collect gems as much, but, I know Michael's got me into collecting some like specimens now when we go to shows and everything, because he has such an eye for it. So it's like, hey, Mike, is this a good one? That you got some cool stuff on that site, Mineral Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, you too. I know that both of us, when we were in Canada, we saw just this great piece of amylite, and it was just like both of us were like, oh man, and it was kind of like, who's gonna take this one home? But I had quite a few, and Jeffrey said I could keep that one, so thanks, Jeff. It's available too right now if anybody wants it.
Off topic, well, not off topic. Question. We've had a lot of sapphire on tonight. And this may be a question for you, Michael, because you do a lot of the setting. So can a sapphire be accidentally heated while being set?
Not really while being set, no. Unless somebody is, like if it's in a head and then they're soldering the head in and then they put the torch on directly on the sapphire. Because sapphire can take a lot of heat generally when you're working on it. Like if you're sizing a ring, I generally will protect them when I'm sizing them, but sapphire will take a lot of heat. I would never put a torch directly on it, but if it's just being set, there should be no heat being applied. So, it shouldn't have any effect when you're setting it.
You suppose, I wonder how hot you could get them. Could you get them hot enough to actually make the labs say an unheated stone was heated?
I'm not too sure how hot my torch gets, but I can heat some, like you can heat a diamond till it's red hot, and you can get them pretty darn hot, but I'm not exactly too sure what the temperature would need to be to change that, and whether that is too quick and too intensive a heat to where I can't take it. Because I know you can heat up like cubic zirconia red hot, just like a diamond, and have no issues with it unless a little slight breeze comes and cools it and quenches that heat real quick. Then you get a shattered CZ, and I would expect that maybe sapphire is the same, just a sudden heat change, but it's not something that I am doing in the shop. But I generally, any colored stones, I try to keep heat away from. It's just not something that you want to expose it to.
Thanks, Mike.
Did that answer the question?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, next stone up. So these are interesting because this is a new source out of Ethiopia that's producing these, what I'm calling Ethiopian semi-black opals. I characterize it with Ethiopian because people from Australia and dealers will just, they even if it's a similar color to what's from Australia, they just won't agree that it's semi-black or, but the body color on these is definitely dark, and I believe it's dark enough to call them semi-blacks. And recently we've had a few that were actually fully black, like the Australian material. So this is a new source, whether it's just a new pocket they hit in one of the mines. I think they did say, we had a locality somebody mentioned on these, didn't we? I was thinking it was a new part, new mine, but the colors are unique. The body color is definitely dark, which is, I think, good enough to categorize them as semi-blacks. They're almost black, but not quite, and these are crystal opal. So they're crystal blacks because they're very transparent. If you put a light through them, you can see the light right through them, but kind of unique material. Pretty excited to see it. And like I say, it is brand new. First time we saw it was this year in Tucson. And you can see the dark body color of it. And what the advantage of blacks is that the dark body color makes the colors just shine more, and it's the reason that a lot of opals, they'll black back them, or you always see opal shown on black because black just highlights the colors. And when it's in the body of the stone, it's there all the time. It's natural, and you get such intense colors in the material. And blacks typically can bring 10, 20, 100 times the price. Not necessarily semi-blacks, but semi-blacks are worth significantly more. Whereas this material out of Ethiopia is a little more, but not dramatically more than what the whites are. But look at the colors. I mean, they're really extraordinary colors. Every color of the rainbow. Just really beautiful material. And I hope it continues to be available. This is a stone, weighs 13.96 carats. I have an appraised value of $2,235, which that's not really based on the guide or anything. What is this material worth? Not totally sure, but definitely worth the $1,570 we have it on line for. If this were Australian stone, I don't know, $10,000. I don't know. The blacks bring a lot of money, and I think this is a valuable material that I'll continue to try and get more of. We've got a couple of stones like this to show tonight, but they're just beautiful, beautiful gems, and new enough to the market that I really don't know what the value of them is. I know that the value we have on them is they're worth that and significantly more, in my opinion. But the price right now has been really, really good. So that $1,570 with 15% off, $1,335, so $95 a carat. What'd you want me to do, Mike?
Put it on the hand.
Put it on the hand. Not that it shows that well on the hand. Well, it does. It's okay. So it's a stone size that would work in a ring. Look at the colors. Pretty amazing. So ring or pendant, beautiful as either. Safer in a pendant. Opal's not the toughest stone on the planet. But you can put them in a ring. We've done many rings with it. These are hydrophane. I actually planned on doing a test on the show tonight to see how hydrophane they are, because they don't seem to be as absorbent as other opals from Wheelo that I've seen. So we will do a test on that and make sure they are hydrophane. If they're not hydrophane, they're stable. The value is significantly more, but I'm sure they're still hydrophane. They've been totally stable for us. No issues with cracking or anything on this material. So great stone for the money. You just look at the colors. Every color of the rainbow, nice blues, which blues are uncommon in this material. And reds are the most valued when it comes to Australian material. And this just has all the colors. And you can see just how transparent it is. You can see right through it. It's a really cool opal. Again, a new source from Wilo, Ethiopia. And one more of the semi-blacks. This is a cool shape. Make a great pendant. Not the best focus on that video. Get the hand out. Just good color throughout the stone. What?
Bracelet stone.
Yeah, it'd be a cool bracelet. And of course, it's just nice for a pendant. You want to show it on. Again, not the best outfit to show it against. So nice size gem. This one weighs 24.13 carats. Appraised price $31.20. Our online price $23.90. And with the 15% off, it's $2,031. So $84 a carat. Yeah, which is, it's so inexpensive for a fine opal like this. Most opals coming out of Australia, with really, really good colors, $200, $300 a carat. Semi-blacks more, of course. But just strong color every direction.
So we had a question. Somebody wanted to know if that's the natural shape or what causes the flat bottom on most opals.
The gutter.
The gutter?
Yeah, if you're lucky, you can get a flat bottom. Which flat bottoms, the big advantage is easier to set. But a lot of this Ethiopian material has big voids in it, and it's hard to get a perfectly flat bottom. But you just waste material to get them as flat as this is. But the big benefit is when you go to set it, it's so much easier when they don't have to deal with anything but a flat bottom. So it's really a remarkably well-cut stone. I've kind of quit buying the rough and just buying the cut stones because the local people around the mines have learned to cut, and they're doing a really good job, and they're just not selling the rough like they used to be. And it's much, much easier for me to buy a cut stone and just sell it as cut, especially when they're cutting as well as they're doing now. Their quality of polish is pretty remarkable. But it's just a super stone, really, really special stone.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Uh-huh.
Before I get into the questions, everybody, if you are liking the show tonight, we're so close to 90,000 subscribers. This will make Michael very happy. So right below the video, there should be like a black button that says subscribe. If you can just click there and subscribe to us. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can click that arrow after you subscribe and click all. and then you'll get notified of like the upcoming shows and everything. If you don't want to subscribe, okay, just give us a thumbs up. Click that little thumb down there. That makes us happy too. So we do appreciate you guys watching.
And we're getting back. Jeffrey is forcing us to do more videos, and Michael is forcing me to do more videos. So we're working on educational videos, and if you subscribe, you'll get notifications of when we do new things, and it's going to be more regular. I've been avoiding it for the last year or so. We were very productive before that, and so we're getting back to it and going to try and provide a lot more educational videos.
So subscribe.
Michael's real goal is 100,000.
100,000. Yes.
And then he gets what do you get for 100,000, Michael?
You get a plaque.
We get a plaque.
We'll show it. We'll display it. We'll have it on the wall.
Yeah. So help us out.
Yes, please.
Let's get that plaque. Which it's kind of amazing we got that many subscribers. It kind of blows me away that many people want to watch us. But we do go out of our way to extend everything I know. I don't hold anything back, and I'm at the point that I'm not concerned about protecting my knowledge, which many people in this business, when I was younger, people really, really protected what they knew, because what they knew is what made them money. And, I just don't have that concern, and I want to share the knowledge, and I feel privileged that I know that knowledge will be out there long after I'm gone. So it's kind of a cool thing, the way the world is now, and sharing information and how long it could be there. I don't, forever could be.
It will be out there forever.
Yeah. Well, I hope we have forever the way the world is these days, but that's another story.
Well, it's crazy how many people watch this. I think one of our videos in that highlight opal has like over 6 million views. So it's crazy how many people are interested in this stuff, and we do appreciate it. So a couple questions again, everybody, for those that are joining us, for purchasing or for questions. Steve's answering, so you can just post them in the live chat right on YouTube. So Jimmy wants to know how many hours go into the preparation of cabbing or faceting a stone.
Well, of course, cabbing is much, much quicker. I can cab an opal in an hour. A tough one, maybe 2 hours. But so that's relatively quick. Faceting can be 2 hours to 10 hours. One of the stones on the show tonight, I did a blue topaz that was just forever. I'm not sure exactly why, but I definitely have 7-8 hours into it. And at the price of blue topaz per carat, it's hard to feel you made really good money on it, but made some money, and it's a beautiful stone. So, that's kind of the range. I've done stones that took me 30 hours, but that was, large Tanzanites. What took the longest? I know I had
that quartz.
Yeah, we did a 1/4 pound quartz. That was a long time, 30 hours plus, maybe longer than that. It was a lot of time. The bigger they are, the longer it takes.
The big topaz you did took a while too, because you were running some issues.
Yeah. When you run into issues, well, and topaz can be issues. It's a hard stone, and can be difficult to polish. And that was the case with the topaz. You'll see later in the show. Yeah.
All right. Paul wants to know what are the different temperatures that you have to heat various stones?
Well, Tanzanite, as you'll see, we have a video out there on heating Tanzanite, and it's between 1,000 and 1,100 degrees. I heated one recently that was on one of the shows. Lower temperature, I heated it to, I think, 800, because I didn't want to fully change it. It was a pretty stone, and I just wanted to change it a little bit. And it was green and went to blue-green at that temperature. And I kind of thought I would like to try it a little bit lower and see what the color was. There is a minimum to Tanzanite where it won't change at all. And it's probably somewhere 700, 750 degrees that there'll be no change. It's just not going to do anything. And there's a maximum, which I've taken to the max. I heated one Tanzanite once to 1500, and it came out like a white piece of chalk, solid white. So bad day. Other stones, sapphires, can require 3000 degrees, depending on what you want to do to them. I mean, they heat to remove silk and they heat to alter color. And those temperatures can vary significantly, from 1300 on the low end to 3000 plus, almost to melting, which I think for corundum maybe is 3300. Not sure exactly where it's at, but it's way up there. Other stones, amethysts, I think I've heated them maybe 700 to light color. It just depends what you want to do to them. So each stone varies quite a bit. So, all
right. On top of that, you talk about sapphires. Daniel wanted to know, will unheated sapphires display luminescence when a UV light is used? Conversely, will heated?
Michael?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, heated versus unheated, whether they're going to fluoresce, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and which ones fluoresce? Not.
What's that, sapphire?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
do they?
The Yogos, they have, I don't know if that's, what is that in there? That's the coloring agent that's causing those to fluoresce. I mean, just like ruby. Ruby,
yeah, chromium. Yeah.
As far as other sapphires, I don't know. I guess it probably just depends on what the coloring agent is.
Yeah, chromium's a big one for fluorescence. I don't know if this yellow.
I mean, hit those rubies over there. Those will fluoresce. But heated
and,
versus unheated, I don't know.
And the yellow 2-carat, it fluoresces orange. But the difference between heated and unheated, I don't generally know that is a separation. Because heating, I couldn't tell you whether it ever has an effect on the fluorescence. If Chris is out there, he probably knows much better. Well, he definitely knows much better than I do what heating does to fluorescence, and and I'll discuss it with him, and maybe next show we'll have an answer for that. Good question. Whether heating has an effect on fluorescence. What's that?
The friction of something causing fluorescence. I don't know what that phenomenon is called, but like if you were to grind it, it'll start to fluoresce. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, not my specialty. But,
yeah.
We've.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, nope, I have no clue.
Okay, next up. And just jump in, Jeff, if you have questions.
Yeah, I'll ask ChatGPT next time.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, here's a tricolor tourmaline crystal, and the big thing about this crystal is its clarity. I mean, I literally could cut this stone and have a really nice cut gem out of it. And as I look at the price of it, probably should cut it because it'll have greater value cut than it has as a crystal. And that's unusual because these days crystals are often worth more than the cut gem that's in them. The crystal market has gone up so much that what used to be a good source of cutting rough is no longer so. So if it has good crystal shape, typically you can get more for the crystal than you can get for the cut gem that's in it. But not the case with this stone. I think there's a more valuable cut stone in it than there is, this $319 for the crystal. Because it's going to cut 60% and it weighs 6 carat. It's going to cut over 3 carat. And 100 a carat is cheap for tricolor tourmaline.
Steve's always trying to cut my crystals.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm a cutter. Crystal business is yours. Not my thing. Yeah. So, but you can see the size of it. It's a nice size stone. Make a great pendant. Yeah, probably a lady's pendant, maybe. Yeah, I guess it's either. Can't be sexist these days. And well, we won't go into size and sexist, I guess. But really, really a nice quality stone. The clarity, generally these bicolors and tricolors, usually, as you'll see in the next stone, usually they're pretty heavily included, and rarely do you see them as clean as this. So this stone's $319, and with 15% off, I don't think I figured these, Mike. So that's 30, 45 off. So it's like 260-ish.
Yeah, 271.
271.15 for the stone. So if you're a cutter, here's a good. Oh, sorry, Mike. Good stone for you to practice on. Make a nice stone. You have to be careful with the green end. You got to be careful not to cut it away. So you'd cut the ends steep, and just cut the minimum amount off that tip as you can. And you cut a step cut on it, so you get a long emerald cut. And usually the yield on those is at least 60%. So the highest yield that you're going to get out of any crystal. Just because, what you end up with looks almost like what you started with. You waste very little of the material. So this one comes from Congo, and right now we're in a period where there's a lot more bicolors and tricolors available, but I've been through that before where there was a lot available, and give it a couple years and this material's just gone, and you go through 10 years where there's no material available. So it's almost guaranteed to happen. It's just the nature of this business.
So, quick question.
Uh-huh.
Go to the next guy. Chris wants to know, when a gemstone has poor cleavage, what does it mean? Is it not prone to breaking when set in a ring?
When it has poor cleavage, I'm not sure that's the right stone. Poor means not dramatic, not easy cleavage. Easy cleavage is one where you can tap it just right and it'll split between atoms. And that's the nature of diamonds. That's why diamond is not a tough stone. It's a hard stone, but its toughness is not great because it has that cleavage plane. And if they used to do a commercial where the cutter was in the back seat of a Lincoln Continental, and he was cleaving a diamond. I guess it was showing how smooth the Continental drove. And he'd put the sharp tip to the crystal in the right place and just tap it, and it just falls apart. So that's what cleavage is all about. And there's easy cleavage. I'm not sure the other end is poor cleavage. Not sure that's a right term for it, but some things cleave easily. And many stones have cleavages, and I've just experienced that with rhodonite, where I was cutting it and I started polishing and it cleaved on me. I knew it was an issue with it. They have very easy cleavage, and I experienced it. So it's a cutter's nightmare. Cleavage in jewelry, once it's in jewelry, it's rare that it happens, but it can. There's stones like sphalerite, 6-way perfect cleavage. So 6 directions you can hit it and it can cleave. But I've never seen one cleave, and I've sold many sphalerites. So cleavage is not generally a major concern once it's set. But that said, it can happen. You hit them just right, and it doesn't have to be a hard hit. They can split. A close friend of mine, when they got married, they had a marquee diamond, and she was throwing garbage in one of those spinner top garbage cans, and it came back and hit her diamond and cleaved it right in half. So it can happen, but uncommon in my time in business. It's rare for me to see stones that have cleaved, except 2 weeks ago. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully that answered your question. But I poor cleavage. I'm not sure that that's the right term or not.
I looked just quickly online, and this is from minerals.net, but on minerals with poor cleavage, the smooth crystal edge is not very visible since the rough surface is dominant. If a mineral exhibits cleavage but it is so poor that it is hardly noticeable.
Okay, not exactly sure what that means, but
All right.
and it's not noticeable poor cleavage. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting some questions. Gonna have to do more research.
Yeah, it's a Stump Steve night.
All right.
I don't think I was stumped. I think they're just wrong. All right, next. Oop. Okay, this one's a bicolor, but a big one, and the green end of it, this is pretty common that, the base of these crystals are included and the tips are cleaner, so here's another gem that you could facet the tip of this and have a nice green tourmaline. And you would have a 17 karat, you'd have a 10 karat green tourmaline, and it's worth at least what the price of this stone is, so this is another cutter, but it's really a beautiful crystal and would make a fantastic pendant. It's a big enough size that men or women could, I don't know, let me see it. I mean, it's a big piece. So a nice, unique bicolor tourmaline that if you wanted to facet it, you could, but just such a nice crystal. But that's so typical of this material being included just like this, where the base of the stone is included, the tip's clean.
Termination on it. It's just
Oh, yeah.
pristine.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And usually these are more often just flat across the top.
Yeah,
As I've seen them.
Quite as
Yeah, really, really a good crystal. It's better on the white. But it'd be a lovely green faceted stone.
Talking about fascinating. I was also just talking to a cutter through chat. For the people that are looking to cut or getting into it, I know we try to help them out. What's the machine that you use or that you'd recommend to cutters?
I recommend the Ultratech, which they make a few, the V5 and a less expensive one. This is the Ultratech V5.
the other one, the VL.
And the VL, yes. About $1,000 difference. The machines for many people, I mean, they're somewhat expensive because this machine is over $5,000. But the investment for somebody who wants to either get in the trade or wants to get serious about it, you got to make the investment because this machine will do for you a lot of things that maybe it's going to make your life easy. because the machine is accurate enough that you don't have to make the adjustments at a lesser machine. You have to fine tune every facet you do, and it just becomes a nightmare to cut. This just makes your life easy because we call it being able to reproduce or reproducibility of the cut, because you got to cut, then you got to go back and polish. And many machines that I've used, when you go back to polish, it isn't polishing exactly where it needs to be, and you have to make adjustments on it, called cheating. Whereas a higher quality machine will cut out a lot of those issues. This particular machine has a digital readout which gives you accuracy to 1/100th of a degree, and those are things that if you want to follow designs, they do give you that kind of reading, at least to 1/10th of a degree, and this is what will make your life easy. So the investment is worthwhile putting into a high quality machine. Many people get into cutting and they just quit because it's just too difficult. Cutting is not an easy thing to do. I struggle with certain stones, weekly. I've had my issues this week, where it's even difficult with a quality machine, and you try and do it on a lower quality machine, and it's going to make your life nightmare. And probably 3/4 of everybody that started is just going to drop it. Just because they think they can't do it, when actually it was the machine that couldn't do it. So spend the money up front and buy a quality machine, and you might end up keeping into the trade and just because you spent the extra money to make your life easier. That said, I am a rep for the company, so I am a little biased, but my bias is for good reason, because I have many machines, and those machines are no longer built. There's no longer parts. So when you have a problem, you have nowhere to go. This is a company been at this for well over 50 years. They don't rely on the Ultratech for their entire business. They produce other scientific equipment. So they're going to be in the business whether faceting supports them or not. So you're going to have a company to go to that's reliable and will be able to give you parts and give you the aid you need when you have problems. So that's why I recommend this machine. And again, I do rep them. If you do decide to buy a machine, I appreciate you letting them know that I was the reason that you got into it, because I do get a commission, and I appreciate that. So, but that's my pitch for Ultratech. And, at this point, there's no other machine of this quality that's available. I have 2 other machines that I've used over, and one I still use, that are quality machines, but the companies that made them are no longer in existence. So once I have problems with those, they're kaput unless you're a machinist and can fix them yourself. So, all right.
And I think
this commercial has been brought to you by Ultratech.
and there is a gentleman, Paul, posted,
and you can look at the stones I cut. I mean, it's of course a lot of it's me, but a lot of it's the machine too. I mean, I could cut on a poor quality machine and have cut for years on poor quality machines, but this is going to cut your time in half, from other machines. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, Paul, who's watching, he has a V5 and he just loves his. So
yeah,
But all right.
Okay, next stone there, Mike, is a lovely peridot. This peridot comes from Pakistan. It's a square step cut, nice big size, weighs 7 carat 59. Pakistan produces the best quality peridot in the world. They've produced this for the last 25 years or so. Could be longer. I lose track of time. but they've produced the best material for the last 25 years at least. Production is significantly less than it's been in the past, but we're still getting fine gems out of Pakistan. These come from 11,000 feet up in the Himalayas, so mining is limited. They have a very short mining period, which definitely affects the supply of the gems. This beautiful stone, real clear, high clarity, VS clarity. Peridot typically will always have some inclusions in it. I'm not sure where they're at in this, but it's a high quality stone. The appraised price on this is $3,795. Our online price $2,280, and with 15% off, it's $1,710. So $225 a carat. Nice big stone. I've had bigger and I have a few bigger, but this is a good size gem. Works as a ring. Nice size ring, or it's big enough for a good pendant also. There's just something about the color of Pakistan material that definitely much better than Arizona material, which Arizona used to be the primary supplier for many of my years in business up until this Pakistani material was hit. Burma's another producer that produces lovely gems. China produces material. The Chinese material just doesn't quite stack up to the Pakistani material. So really lovely gem, beautifully cut, nice brilliance. Really has everything going for it. This is one of the most popular shapes in the business right now. Sometimes called an Asher cut. There may be slight differences, but basically it's Asher cut or square step cut. And the next stone is one we just talked about. This was a bit of a bugger. I took this from design. One of the books that cutters use is the Vargas books. They have a lot of cutting designs in it, and I probably started learning with Vargas. Yeah. One of the books was there's a beginner's book and 3 other books that they produced. A lot of nice designs. They don't give you as specific of angles as what some of the new designs do, but a lot of nice designs in it. And this one they quoted as being easy, and I would definitely disagree with that. It's not an easy cut to do. But it does produce excellent brilliance. It's a really pretty gem. London blue topaz. I've only recently started seeing rough available. Pretty limited availability, but it cuts a nice gem. This is the deeper end of color of topaz. Again, the iPhone doesn't reproduce the color as it is, but you can kind of see the size and the cut. So this weighs 26.73 carats. Appraised value $1,070. Our online price $995, and the 15 off. It is $846, $32 a carat. This is one gem that I have to put a cut like this on it and be competitive in the blue topaz market. It's a little difficult, so it's a little on the high end of the price of blue topaz. But I've got probably 7 hours into this stone. One of the longer time periods of cutting that I've done on a gem lately. But that crown was not easy. So, but beautiful gem. And still it's probably one of the least expensive materials in the market. 32 bucks a carat. Not too many gems that you can find like that in that price range, particularly with a cut like this.
That's for like a pendant?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the shape lends itself really well to a pendant. And some people do rings this big. I mean, it's not uncommon to do a ring that size. It'd be a beautiful ring. It's just going to sit up fairly high because of the size of the stone. You get greater depth. But a lot of people not concerned about that, and we've done many, many rings like that. But pendants, much easier. Yeah.
Looks like something you'd see that Met Gala that just happened where everybody wears the extravagant dresses, but the jewelry is usually big as well.
Yeah.
I think that somebody had a blue diamond. I think that was pretty large, but kind of resembles.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, the blue diamond was a little more money.
Probably.
Yeah.
Few, yeah.
Yeah, but not more beautiful. That's a beautiful gem. I'm really happy how it came out. Just rather have taken me 4 hours than 7 or 8, whatever it was. It was a struggle to get it ready for the show, for sure. But very, very pleased with the outcome.
Steve, someone wants to know if you named the hand yet. Have we gotten a name, chat? Anybody?
Hey, we're not getting any. So far, it's Hannah.
A lot of people just joined us, so people that just joined us, we brought the hand model in finally. The hand model is just a hand. We got.
It's a beautiful hand, though.
We got Handy Helen.
Handy Helen.
We got Hannah. What other ones we got here? We got a few. We got Handy Helen, Hannah, Clarabelle. Someone asked what finger size she was. I guess 6.
Yeah, maybe a 7.
Maybe a 7.
Yeah, most of our rings have fit her.
Hannah Phalanges.
Hannah Phalanges. I like it.
So we got some names for the hand. Send them our way.
She's a good assistant.
We were all sick of seeing the stones on Steve's manly, masculine hands.
Yeah, a little better proportions with her.
Steve doesn't get manicures enough. Father's Day's
No,
coming up,
usually
though.
my nails are full of black polish, as this one is. That's typical. My fingers, you get those on the lap, and it just fills with grit and makes your fingers black. Kind of like Michael's. He's in polishing jewelry all the time, or working on jewelry, and it doesn't do good things for your hands, for sure.
When I was one of the hardest jobs I ever did, though I go back to it now, it was a dishwasher at Baker Square.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, it was terrible, all right? But I can tell you, I had the most amazing nails and the softest hands that you would ever touch. It's because of the burning, scalding hot water and soap on a constant basis.
And you wanted to quit, and your mother wouldn't let you.
No,
You
that was
had
a
car
hard
payment
job.
to make. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here we go. Oh, I like this one. Don says Hannah Montana. Or Hannah Manna. Hannah Manna. And I said Hannah Montana.
Okay, next gem.
Let's get on to the point.
All right, one of the amylites we bought up in Canada, and this is a really high quality stone. The surface of it is remarkably clean. These are shells that have been put under pressure, and a lot of them exhibit a lot of cracks in them, but this one is remarkably clean. And I think this was, grading AAA is one of their highest. I think they do have a AAA plus, but this is a really remarkably clean stone and remarkable colors. To get all those colors in one stone, finding the blues is very, very difficult. This has intense greens, intense reds. You get all the best colors that's available in ammonite. That weighs 29.35 carats. No appraised price on these. The guide doesn't do a pricing guide on it, and there's no real reference for the price of ammonite. But our price online, $795. And with the 15% off, $675. So $23 a carat.
And Steve, for those who don't know, you want to explain what this is?
Ammonite is a 70 million year old fossil. This is not the same ammonite. Ammonite is a fossilized ammonite. This is an ammonite from a different source. Where's this one from, Mike?
That was Morocco.
This is from Morocco. So I don't know if same time period. They vary quite a bit.
Sure, yeah.
But this is what it came from, and the coloration is from the surface of the shell, and the back of it is inside. The surface of the shell is changed, and it's a ragonite. I'm not sure exactly how it alters to get the colors, but a ragonite is what you find in pearl. Pearl is made of ragonite, so same type of material, and that's what you get the iridescence from. But pretty remarkable, the colors matter. It's the ammonite, and you have more of those on. These are on Mineral Mike. The one I just showed you is available on Mineral Mike. Really nice fossil. And Mike has some specimens.
Palm size.
Yeah, some remarkable specimens, because we went to Montana to go mine sapphire, and then we took a side trip up into Canada to go to the ammonite mines, and we did a lot of ammonite mining unsuccessfully. Huh?
Close to Lethbridge?
It's Lethbridge, yes. So it's about, was it 2 or 3 hours from Helena in Montana, I think.
Maybe 4.
4 hours, yeah.
In an RV.
In an RV with expired plates.
Push the gas pedal down. The hills.
But it was a great trip. The mining was fun but unproductive. But what we got at the mines, they were just preparing for the Denver show. So they were just really well stocked. And the specimens Michael got, which are truly amazing, he was picking out of what they had there in stock. And about the time he finished picking stuff out, they came walking out with a whole tray of new stuff. And the new stuff unpicked and just really, really incredible material, and really got lucky. It just, colors like this piece and the specimens he have, they're just the best of the best. You look at this and you look at the intensity of colors. They're even opal. We'll have a hard time vying with the colors that are in these ammonites. Just pretty incredible that this comes out of the earth like this. And we got to watch them digging, and we were there when they found a nice big specimen. They use this big machinery, and they're just scraping the top of the ground until they find a specimen, and then they go in by hand and dig it out. So really interesting trip, and it's just exciting to get material of this quality, because these are the finest ammonites I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of ammonites because back in the early 80s, I worked with the biggest ammonite company, Corite. At the time, they were the supplier of all the ammonites in the market. Happened to be at AGTA doing the show, and they were in the booth next to me, and they just asked me, if you're on the road, you would like sell ammonite. So I started selling ammonites. And so I had pretty good experience with ammonite, and there were very few stones I ever sold that had this quality, just such intense color. Great stone, and one to follow up on it. Yep, we have a sale.
And Martha thought it was a great stone as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Martha, for picking up that ammonite. That's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, you'll like it, Martha.
Cool. Thank you, Martha.
Yeah. Make a great, pendant, I assume, but not a good ring stone, probably. I don't know if we've ever done them in a ring. Yeah, not a good ring stone, but fabulous pendant. And one other ammonite. Another lovely gem. This one a little larger in size. Similar colors, probably not quite as big a blue or big of red ends, but real similar. And another high quality, I'm not sure what the rating on this one, but it's definitely AAA. Again, the blues and the greens and the reds. And probably indigo in there somewhere. Always trying to figure out what the hell indigo is. If you know Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, and violet.
What?
Did you know that?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jeffrey doesn't know Roy G.
Yeah, I think, see, you get at this angle, you start seeing those violets.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of blue.
Yeah, and a lot of blue.
Indigo.
That's interesting, because when we selected these, you have to be really careful with ammonites or amylites, because some of them, they're only pretty straight on. If you turn them at all like this, you end up no color. So that's first thing I do is rotate them and make sure that they have some, like when you buy a TV, they say you got 80 degrees or 120 degrees. That's important in TVs, and it's important in this material too, because so many of them have 20 degrees that you can rotate them and then the color's gone. So, you buy this stuff long enough and you find that that's the first thing you look at, because we were in Tucson and I was looking at some gems, and this one just blew me away. It was so red, but it had that problem that you rotated it 10 degrees and the color just disappeared. So that you'll find that all the ones we buy will have a good rotational degrees that you can still see the color.
What's the hardness of this?
They're soft.
Yeah.
4. I want to say they're 4. Yeah. But in a pendant, not a problem. Yeah, this one actually rotates really well. That's about as good as you see in a amylite.
Put on the hand, all handy, unnamed.
We got a couple more. Ariana.
Digitalis. And I kind of like this one, ambidextrous.
Yeah, there you go.
Ambidextrous,
You
yeah.
got some clever people out there.
That was both Max. Nice job, Max.
All right, $8.55, and with the 15 off, it is $7.27, $15 a carat. So cool gem, both of those were just outstanding amylites. And we got a lot of great ones, but not many of them show this variety of color. A lot of them are greens and blues, and you don't get the reds. But these are the best of the best for sure. And next stone. It's a hidden gem. All right.
Yes. So the hidden gem. Again, if you're just joining us, you can go to MoreGems.com to find this. You just go to MoreGems.com, click on that green banner. It's going to take you to all the stones on the show tonight. If you're already there, just refresh it. And this new hidden gem is going to show up. And you get 25% off this stone with the coupon code RARE25.
So this is an interesting stone because last show we had this kind of salmon pink color, that I said, I almost never get this material. I haven't had one like this in how long? And that one sold. And I went back to the stuff we bought in Tucson. I go, wow, I have another one. Yeah, just a unique color. Like Podparasha Sapphire. I think if this were a sapphire, we would definitely get Podparasha if we sent it to GIA. Which I sent a sapphire trying to get a Podparasha color out of them just recently at GIA, but no success. Just didn't have enough pink to it, I guess, or enough orange. Pink orange is what Podparasha is the color range, pink orange to orange pink. And that's pretty much what this color is. A unique stone, again, a big face, not cut too deep. You get full millimeter size for its weight. Weighs 6.97 carats. Really high clarity stone. Just nicely cut, good life to it. iPhone color, inaccurate, but give you an idea of what the size is. So it could be a ring.
And for anybody out there that's watched our previous shows, we'd love to hear your feedback on this new camera setup. Should we keep doing it, or should we go back to the old camera and show the more zoomed in video of these gems?
And generally more accurate color.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if we can, is there any adjustments on the iPhone for? Yeah.
I mean, you can hop in. It would just be a little difficult. Like I can change the tint and brightness and hue a little bit, but
I didn't know all that was available.
So yeah, it's something we haven't played around with yet, but it is possible.
But just trust our pictures and videos. We really work hard at getting them accurate. We have very few complaints ever that they're not accurate when a person receives a stone. So you can trust those that what you see is what you're going to get. But very pretty gem. Praise price $5,840. Our online is $2,920, and with the 15% off, this tourmaline is $2,190, which comes out to $314 a carat. Just a really pretty color. This comes from Congo. Oh, we have a sale?
Yes, the Gemmy tricolor tourmaline mineral specimen.
Oh, cool.
Sold to Mark. Thank you,
All right,
Mark.
Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Mike appreciates that. That comes from Mineral Mike.
And everybody's saying the hand is very helpful for understanding the size.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're trying to incorporate it on the website, and I haven't been doing the loose gems, but I will start doing them also on hand. We've been doing the rings that we produce, which I could see was really helpful. And next stone. So this is an oldie, but a goodie. This goes back, this goes back at least 20 years. You know, I bought this out of an estate, and it was actually cut by my brother, Larry, who is unfortunately recently passed, but he was our primary cutter for quite a few years before I actually cut before him, taught him how to cut, but my time was spent on the road selling to jewelers, and he was back here at home cutting and managing the office. So this is a stone he would have cut back in the 90s probably. This material came out of Madagascar. I was getting this from a friend, Tom Cushman, who for 20 years was the most famous guy in the business because he had stories about Madagascar that just the trade was interested in. And, you know, he was just a great guy. He's who talked me into going to Madagascar back in the early 2000s. But this material I was getting from him, and it was the only source for this particular color in the world at that time. You know, and it turns out it's, of course, is my favorite color. If you watch this show, this is my favorite color of gems. You know, it's nice to see this stone come back to me. I had sold it in a piece of jewelry, and it came back after the customer died, and I bought what we had sold her, and this stone I pulled from the mounting. Just, she handled the material extremely well because all of her stones totally clean. It's like she never wore them, you know. So this is really a special gem. You know, this peach color tourmaline we're finding out of Congo right now, but this material from Madagascar, not coming out of Madagascar at this time. But nice gem, and you know, I probably should keep it just as a memory of my brother, but yeah. I have many memories of him, all good. So the stone weighs 2.78 carats. 22.20 is the appraised price on it. I suppose I could have put in the $8.90 is our online price. See if I can get it on Hannah or wherever she is.
Palmala is the next one.
Paul.
What was it?
Palmala.
Palm.
Good one, Jimmy.
I'll give you an idea of the size, not of the color, but you know, just beautiful brilliance. This is a Barian style emerald cut. And this would have been cut. He had a facetron. Nice stone, nice size, good brilliance, you know, good durable material, and just beautiful, beautiful color. So at the 15 off, this is $756, $272 a carat. And next stone there, Mike, is our next hidden gem.
You guys are supposed to tell me about these things.
We'll let you know next time.
Tell everybody about the hidden gems if they haven't heard.
All right. For your people that have heard this for the fourth time tonight, thanks for staying put. All right. So if you're on the page with all our stones on MoreGems.com, refresh it and you'll see it. If not, if you're just joining us, go to MoreGems.com. There's a green banner. Click on that green banner. It'll take you to all the stones and you'll see this new hidden gem.
Well, that didn't work well.
Need to make one of those that's like pre-open partially for larger stones.
Yeah, we'll have to look, see if they have them for bigger stones. Never seen them for bigger stones. Got it in there.
Put it in old Pamela.
You like that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, I did like that.
You didn't get it at first?
I didn't get that. I was like, okay.
All right, show Pamela. Oop. There we go. Nice size stone for a ring. So this chrome tourmaline. Chrome tourmaline's basically only from Tanzania is the primary source and almost the only source for chrome tourmalines. This one's a pretty large stone, 4.47 carats. You know, the big issue with chrome tourmaline is usually they're too dark. Overly dark is just the most common thing for chrome tourmalines. As cutters know, when you sit down to cut a chrome tourmaline, it looks like it's going to be perfect. And you get done with it, and it's just black. There's just so many issues with chrome tourmaline that I've generally quit cutting them. I haven't cut a chrome tourmaline in quite a few years. Last one I bought last trip to Tanzania, which was 2014. Looked perfect. I thought this is going to be the perfect gem. I tried to decide whether to cut two out of it just in case. You know, if you cut them smaller, they get lighter. I went for the big stone, and unfortunately, it was overly dark. You know, just very, very difficult to judge this material. So this stone definitely not overly dark. Slightly included. There is one inclusion, but I'll say it's difficult to see. I mean, if you look close enough, you're going to see it, but just a beautiful color, beautiful brilliance in a big chrome tourmaline. You know, you typically don't see chromes much bigger than this. I know we do own a 7 carat, I think, but that's probably the biggest I've ever owned, just because of that darkness problem. So this appraises at $6,250. Our online price $3,900, and with 25 off, chrome tourmaline, it's $2,925.
I'm gonna move.
Move her,
Yeah.
move her hand. Really a nice size for a ring. All right, Mike. This next Tanzanite, I was looking through the things I hadn't put online yet. I ran across this one, and I started looking at the colors, and I go, wow. The purple color in this is just remarkable. It's one of the most extraordinary purples. It just has a glow to it. That makes it a special stone. This is strongly to the purple, but when you go to daylight, it has a very strong change to blue. I mean, there's still purple in it, but the change to blue is significant. But the special thing about this is just the beauty of the purple color. It is just different than most other tanzanite you're ever going to see. It's hard to explain. I mean, the picture's pretty accurate, but in person, it's even more grabbing. That purple color is just unique. I've just never really seen the color that this gem has. I've seen stones that are more purple, but not a more pleasing. There's just a little bit of blue to it that makes this purple just unique. So again, a nice ring-sized stone. Again, I'll reiterate, the color is not accurate in the iPhone. But if you like your tanzanites more to the purple, this is a unique and beautiful stone, unlike other tanzanites. There's just something special about the violet end of the color of this stone. And then to get the strong change to blue. So special stone. $74.40 is the appraised price. $46.20 is our price online. And with the 15% off, it's $39.27. So $580 a carat.
Silver Girl says when hitting the iPhone, it even looks like there's some red flash in it. I don't know if you're seeing it or not.
I'm not sure on this stone whether it did or not. Oh yes, yes, definitely. Yeah, it's. You're right. Definitely has red flash. I don't talk about red flash much because it's so rare. Once you start talking about it, I want red flash in my stone, and well, good luck. But this definitely has red flash, and I think I caught a little glimpse of it as it's turning here also. But I have a light here that definitely shows me red flash, and it does have it, yes. So even more special, I say that, and I got to not talk about that, because it's maybe 5%. If you're lucky, it's probably not even that percentage that has any red flash in it. And it only comes in the best stones. The deepest colors are the only ones that are going to produce red flash. But even the most beautiful, deepest colors most often don't have any red flash. So just nice, brilliant stone. Overall rating on this stone, so it's a 960 out of 1,000 is what I've rated it. The color to me is near perfect. It's totally clean. It's not 100% perfect symmetry. Is why it's lost a little bit. But a 960 is, I'd recommend investors that some things over 950 are what you want to invest in. Another thing I probably shouldn't talk too much about, because there's beautiful stones that are 940s and 920s, but this is a special stone all around. And next stone up is a faceted opal. We don't get around to faceting enough opals because faceted opals are very, very saleable for us. Just again, you can cab a stone in an hour and you can facet one in 4 hours. So sometimes that has little to do with what you do with the material. And most stones don't facet particularly well. You have to have the right amount of clarity to make faceting work, because some of the red flashes you'll see in this stone are actually from the reflections off the back facets. So faceting does have an effect on it, but you have to have just the right clarity, not too clear, but clear enough to get the reflections off the back facets. Just adds a little character to it. And as it rotates, you can see some of the red flashes coming off the back. Right there.
Like a little storm in the stone.
Yeah.
Be cool if it just like moved by on its own, the colors inside of it.
We haven't found that gem yet there, Jeff.
It almost
Nice
looks
thought.
like it does as it rotates. That's pretty cool.
In your dreams. But beautiful colors in it. And, the faceting makes them unique. They've always been very, very saleable to us. Just find enough time to sit down and facet these stones is the difficulty. Whoop. Give you an idea of the size. So, appraised price of $825. $550 is the online price, and with 15 off, it is $467. $85 a carat.
Tim had earlier purchased the blue Zircon, and it's for their 44-year anniversary. Congrats.
I've got you beat, Tim.
What are you at?
We're
that's not
pushing
good.
50.
Mom, you're not watching, are you? Dana, do
We'll
not
be
tell.
50 and 75, so we're 48.
48. Okay, so close.
Thanks, Nance, for sticking in there.
Yeah. What can you tell them what the hardness of the blue Zircon, or the blue Zircon? Yeah, the blue Zircon.
7.5. Kind of losing hardnesses these days. I don't use them enough. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I don't think it's 8. I think it's 7.5. Okay. So it's a good hard stone. The characteristic, wear over time, you can chip facet edges on it, but they're tough enough they don't scratch easily. So they're a pretty tough stone, tougher than most, let's put it that way. So, yeah, they're good for ring, pendant. So, they beat out tourmalines, garnets, amethyst. There's not much that's harder. There's 4 or 5 gems we use regular that are harder. Sapphire's harder. Emerald and aqua are similar in hardness. And a few others. Anyway, moving on. Here's an opal that it is truly incredible. The intensity of colors in this stone are unlike anything you've ever seen. I've seen a lot of gems, and it's probably as intense a color, evenly spread through it. It's just really, really a special opal. I don't know what the iPhone will do for this, Mike. It shows, well, it doesn't do it justice, but the colors are so intense and spread just solid through the stone. To me, it's almost unbelievable, the colors that come out of this stone. They're just, the intensity is a 10 or whatever the scale is. I think Australian opals are 5 is the most intense. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but this is as good as it gets. And the variety of colors in it, just a lot of blue in it. It's the mostly greens and yellows, but reds and blues, and really is a remarkable stone. This is a better representation of it, but still in person, it's even better than what you see in the video. These opals, the color is almost difficult to capture how intense the colors are in some of these Wheelo opals. Then occasionally I take videos and I go, whoa, that's too good. So it's opals are really tough to photograph. But this one is just a really special stone. It weighs 13.64 carats, appraised price of $2,450. $1,490 is our price online. And with the 15 off, this is $1,266, so $93 a carat. I don't know if I did this on black, whether it would. And it's too much for it. It's a good one. The opals we bought this last trip were some of the best we've ever bought. And I have many that they've not made it to the website yet. Although this one is about as good as anything we've purchased. The semi-blacks are probably the most unique ones that have come out of that mine to this time. But this is one of the best ones I've ever owned. And up next, another special garnet. This comes from Mahenge. They're calling it Mahenge Malaya. I know Malaya is more of a peach color. But this has the same mixture of garnets that Malayas have. But what's unique about this stone is how light the color is. This color before this mine did not exist in garnet. This was a color 10 years ago that never came out of the ground. It just wasn't known in a garnet. Garnets typically were much deeper color. Mahenge produced much lighter colors and produced a wide variety of colors that never existed before. And this would be one of them. I mean, you might see this color in sapphire, probably not, maybe tourmaline, but in garnet, it's really a unique stone. This one weighs just under 4 carat, and in lighter stones and bigger stones and garnets is what's rare. And this is really about as fine a color in these pinks, if that's what we're going to call this. Mahenge was a big producer 5 years ago, but has become very limited availability. And these garnets with their high refractive index give you almost a diamond-like brilliance. And this one's really well cut and just the right color to give you that extraordinary brilliance. Garnets definitely are my favorite of gems. Just the wide variety of colors and the extreme brilliance they produce. So this stone price of $25.90. Price online $19.90, and with 15 off, it is $16.91. $423 a carat. You know, over the last 7-8 years, garnet prices have gone up significantly. The best reason is probably Mahenge, producing a wide variety of colors that just created a lot of interest in garnets, and rightfully so. There's not much more beautiful than garnets. You get such great brilliance, and the colors are just extraordinary. You know, there's not too many gems that can produce that kind of brilliance. I don't see sapphires with that kind of brilliance. I can't think of another gem that I see as brilliant as these are.
We had a woman asking about the Tanzanite. She wanted to know, did you say that it was investment quality, or that last Tanzanite that was pretty unique
absolutely.
with the color?
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we just did a video on investment in Tanzanite. If you want to look at that, it's on YouTube. And, you know, I kind of gave a split as 950, you know, and only because 950 is not abundant, but is available. And for me, that's the kind of quality that gives you cut, clarity, and the color, all in just very, very high quality. You know, but this one's just special because it's so unique. I mean, that violet color is, I mean, when you see it, it's just something that grabs you. Yeah. And up next is another garnet from Mahenge. Oh, is it? Oh.
Gotta work on this hidden gem
All right.
for the fifth and final time.
Yes. So, yeah. Again, thank you for everybody that stayed and had to listen to this over and over again. So the final gem, if you're on the page right now, where all the gems from the show are, which is on MoreGems.com, all you have to do is refresh it right now, and you'll see this new hidden gem. If you are new, just go to MoreGems.com, click on that green banner. It'll take you to the complete collection. You'll see this new hidden gem, and you just have to use the coupon code RARE25, and you'll get 25% off this hidden gem and the rest of them. Hidden gems.
So this is a stone that I had to test it because Michael questioned me. He says, "Is this a spessartite?" I said, "No, it's a Malaya." You know, so we tested it, and it turned out that it was Malaya, not spessartite. Spessartite has a refractive index that's beyond the scale of our refractometer, and this one actually gave us a reading of 176, I think, which is in the typical garnet range. And this one was a little different, although it has a little peach color. The video is showing it more peach than what it actually is. If you take the picture and the video and cross them, that's kind of what you get. It's actually more towards the picture, add a little peach to that, and you get what the stone is. That video is showing it as too much peach. But a unique gem, again, from Mahenge in Tanzania. And again, pretty color, excellent brilliance. Again, nice high clarity stone, VS2 clarity. So unique gem that you don't see this color. Well, I don't think I've owned this color. It is close to what spessartites are. I suppose there were spessartites that came out of Nigeria that were very similar to this color. Those came out 15, 20 years ago, probably. So this is a 2.35 carat. 1180 is the appraised price, 790 our price online, and with 25 off, this fine garnet is $593, $252 a carat. Yeah, it really is a special stone.
So someone wants to know what makes this an out of the family garnet.
Well, it is the mix. It's a pyrospite, and what is called Malaya, to me, is a much more limited. What out of the family was when they were mining rhodolites in Tanzania and Kangala. They started coming across these garnets that weren't rhodolites. They weren't the violet red stones. They were the peachy orange colors, and they would just throw them out of the hole because these weren't of value. We want rhodolites. And so that's out of the family, or prostitute is the direct translation of Malaya. So shortly after that, they discovered that these were more saleable and more valuable than the rhodolites, and they became the more valuable stones. Today, Malayas are a wide variety of stones. They're calling anything with the right mix of garnets, calling a Malaya, right or wrong. Some of them are just dark reddish brown stones, and to me of little value. The best of them are the peach colors, which are a mix of pink and orange. This one has enough peach to it for me to call it Malaya. The pinks, in my truest sense of the word Malaya, are not Malayas, but the trade is calling all these stones with the same mix of garnets as Malayas. So it's become a broader term. For better or worse, it's just the way the trade has gone. But, it's a beautiful garnet by any name. So we have a sale there, Jeff?
Yes. Phil picked up the 13.64 carat Ethiopian opal.
Oh, the semi-black, or is that
the bright fire?
Oh, the bright, yeah. Wait till you see it. Yeah, you will be amazed. Yeah. And let me know if that's a overstatement, because I think you'll be just shocked how beautiful it is.
Cool. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil. You're welcome, Phil. Okay, up next. So every show we have one of these, it seems. This is just a spectacular stone. Right now, the availability of this type of garnet is good, and I keep buying as much as I can. I just got a shipment in from South Africa of some stones, they're from Tanzania, but my suppliers in South Africa, and I keep buying them, and I had to apologize to my wife and give her the invoice, because after Tucson and our wild spending there, I wasn't supposed to be buying anything. But these, when there's good ones out there, you just can't pass it up, because this color is just amazing. The material, we were talking about Kangala, and they produced the finest garnets back in their time. But this material available right now even beats the best of that material. So I buy as much of it as I can, because when you get colors like this, you just can't beat this, as it's basically a rhodolite that we're calling umbellite because it's a lighter color, and material was found in the Umba Valley that was similar to this. So they've taken on a new name, umbellite, although basically it's a rhodolite, just a very, very, very fine rhodolite. So this is a big one too. Particularly, again, rhodolite has the same issue of the bigger you get, the darker it gets. So getting a stone near 10 carat that has this bright and vivid of color is rare. So that's a really special material. What are you guys laughing at?
Put it on Hannah Bling.
Sorry. I forget my hand. My assistant.
Hard name.
Henek.
So great size for a ring, again, or a pendant. But this, it really has a special color, not displayed by the iPhone in this picture, but, beautifully cut, if I say so myself. Step cut crown and a brilliant style pavilion. It'll be a 16 mains pavilion with a step cut crown, which is a style I've been doing pretty regular these days. And there's nothing better than these stones in a round. I mean, they just make such a beautiful gem cut in a round. So that's our rhodolite for the month. So the appraised price $37.50, our online price $21.10, and with the 15 off, it is $1,793, so $191 a carat. That is really a special rhodolite, umbellite. The naming of garnets these days has become quite the thing. There are so many names for garnets. I'm going to go back, just say green garnet, red garnet. Just gotten too complex. Umbellites, Malayas, grape garnets, never ending. And next stone up is a Savarite garnet.
Green garnet.
It's a green garnet, yes, from the Tsavo Game Preserve. Well, this one's actually from Tanzania. They occur both in Tanzania and across the border into Kenya. Tsavo Game Preserves in Kenya. The original discovery by Campbell Bridges was in Tanzania, in this location. The government kicked him out of the country. He went across the border and rediscovered more Savarite in Kenya in the Tsavo Game Preserve, where his family continues the mine to this day. Let me see if I can get Hannah hooked up here. All right. So again, really well cut stone, very, very brilliant. And 2 carat sizes in Savarite get into a rarer size. Beautiful gem, high clarity for Savarite garnets, VS2. Praise price $52.50. Our online price $37.99. 15% off, it is $32.29. $1,475 a carat. Savarite is one of the more valued of the green garnets. And I think greens are probably the most valued. Demantoids, they probably bring a little more money than this in high quality. But Tsavorite is definitely one of the more valued of the garnets. And recently there was a garnet that is now in the Smithsonian that is over 100 carat. It is the biggest Tsavorite known, I believe.
What's the name of that?
The Lion of Marilani. And the lion is named after Campbell Bridges, who was known as the Lion. So it is in honor of him. Bruce Bridges had a hand in it with the Rainbow. What's the company's name? Somewhere in the Rainbow.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, they were involved in the. I don't know if they sold it to the Smithsonian or just what the deal was, but it is now in the Smithsonian.
Is garnet considered tough?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough stone. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of problem. Again, you can chip the facet edges a little bit, but, they're relatively hard and harder than most things in nature, so they take quite a bit of abuse.
For sandpaper, don't you?
Garnet paper, yep.
Don't want to make that into sandpaper, though.
No, probably not. So a really beautiful Tsavorite. Yeah. All right. Got some more questions for me?
So everybody, if you do have questions, now's the time to post them in the chat for Steve to answer them. Just to give you kind of a, for everybody that's just joining us or new to the show, first of all, thank you everyone for watching the show tonight. If you did have a good time and want to see more of our shows, please press that subscribe button right below the YouTube. And if you love us anymore, just hit that bell to get notifications, and you'll know when we have some really cool, new, interesting videos that Steve's doing more of, and you'll be notified of the next live show. If you don't want to do that, if you could just click that thumbs up, and that just tells us that you love us, and we appreciate it. Again, you can purchase any of the stones that are left. I'll be doing a big email tomorrow to everyone. So if you do like anything, now's the time, or tomorrow morning, to pick it up. We do have a 30-day warranty. And on any of these, we also do custom designing. So we can custom design anything you like with them. With the purchasing, again, for most of the stones, use coupon code FRESH, and that'll give you 15% off. Just put that in the checkout. For the hidden gems, make sure to use the coupon code RARE25. That'll give you a whopping 25% off those stones. And you can use credit card. We accept PayPal. You can also use bread financing through checkout, which is 0% interest for 6 months, or you can go up to 12 months for just a little bit more. Tomorrow, if you want to give us a call and put anything on layaway, we can do that as well, as long as it's not sold. So some questions coming in. What is the refractive index of Spinel?
Oh, 17. Let's see if I can get these straight. Synthetic is 173 and 171 for natural. Or reversed. So somewhere between 171 and 173. Let me think which is the synthetic. I think I'm at a loss there. Synthetic is one and natural is the other. 171, 173 are the two numbers. Just don't quite have which way it is at the moment.
All right. Shankopotamus, thank you. They're going to recommend an associate for an engagement ring from us. We also do engagement rings. And for Mother's Day, if anybody is out there, and we do have a custom collection of mother's rings that are pretty amazing, if I don't say myself. You can order them through, May 7th?
So, yeah.
Through May 7th to get them delivered in time for Mother's Day. You can take a look at our collection. It's an easy domain to remember. It's just mothersfamilyrings.com. And you can, we have rings from 1 to 12 birthstones. And they're all top class gems. Steve reviews them all. And most of them are designed in-house as well. So if you're looking for a Mother's Day gift, that's something we sell a lot of during this time of year. Let's see. Daniel wants to know, how do the shades of green in different Tsavorite affect pricing? And do you have a favorite?
How do you describe the different shades of green? And yeah, that's a tough thing to... And there definitely is differences in the pricing of the greens, but I guess I wouldn't know how to describe, is it grass green? Is it forest green? Is it, what is green? But it definitely has an effect on the price. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Sorry, getting some more names for the hand here. Thanks, everybody, for taking part. We'll have to decide the hand name, for the next show.
Maybe we'll do a poll the next show.
Maybe, okay. And we'll put all the hand names together and pull it out. So make sure to join us for the next show. That's, what's that, June?
The first Wednesday in June.
Okay. We're going on vacation that week or no? No. Okay. So the first Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, we do them the first Wednesday of every month. So Max wants to know, let's see. And Max tried to use bread and to charge interest. Max, I'm going to have to take a look at that. It shouldn't be charging interest for up to 6 months. So if it is, I'll have to contact our rep there and find out why. But Max wants to know, can you see that one Tanzanite, the oval on Hannah again?
Sure.
Let's see, hand name Cortana. You know anything about that, Michael? Google it.
Isn't that like the thing for like a search or something?
Well, he had mentioned something about with Master Chief and Morty.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Rick and Morty. What else we got, Jeffrey?
Are we? Did you put the hand?
Yep.
Oh, you did it. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to respond to people here. Okay, so Jimmy wants to know Tanzanite's their birthstone, their birthday stone, which we actually just did a video on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep. And he wants to make a blue or a ring for himself. What's the price range, I guess, he can pay for Tanzanite? What's kind of I guess there's a lot of things with that, but...
Yeah, 200 to 700 a carat is the price range.
Okay.
Depending on size and quality. Because this 6 carat was, I don't know, it was 580. And I think the other stone earlier was 510 a carat, or, yeah. For those in the 5, 6, 7 carat. Stones above 3 carat can hit that high range in the 600 and above for top quality stones. In the same size, you can also be 250 a carat for lighter color stones. So all on the depth of color, clarity, and cut.
All right.
I don't know. We're going to be redoing the Tanzanite price sometime soon. Yeah, we have an old one on there. They're probably still accurate. On YouTube, we have a video that goes back how many years, but there hasn't been a lot of change. Only recently they've gone up a little bit, 10% or so. But the price has been pretty steady for the last 10 years. So.
All right.
And Tanzanite Jewelry Designs is where you'll find all of our Tanzanite, so you can get a better idea of pricing on there. There's probably 50 loose stones on there.
Sorry, computer just died. Long show tonight. Going to the phone here. Let's make sure there's nothing else coming through. All right, so I think that's it for the questions here. If you do have further questions, you can always chat with us through our website or email us. We have a contact form there as well. Again, use Flash. No, not Flash. Use, what's the coupon code? I don't have my thing up here. Fresh. Use Fresh for 15% off that selection of gems that we talked about. And I think that is it. Again, here's my shirt. I'm going to try to get them to maybe, get more of these made. And
yeah, I want one.
Yeah. And we'll see what we do. So,
all right, folks.
On you, Steve.
All right, folks. Remember, shop online at MoreGems.com or TanzaniteJewelryDesign.com or MothersFamilyRings.com. We want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get alerts when we go live. Also, check out the video links at the bottom of the stream. That's going to do it for us tonight. I'm Steve Moriarty. Keep on gemming.
Hey, why don't you give a little wave with Pamela?